As we are, ooh, my lips. As we are recording this, my phone is charging. So let's take our time, but let's rush a little.
When the sky comes falling, even when the sun don't shine, I got faith.
Boy! Hi babies, it's Ray Ray. So this rant is actually more on the low-key. But we're gonna take a trip to the past. Did I already say I got a rant? I got a rant. When I was younger, I was raised in North Carolina. So over there, all of us little girlies are really into being girls. Girls can think or want something. Boys can think or want something, but they never intertwine with each other. Girls have to be girls. Boys have to be boys. At least when you were, young. I mean, girls always usually liked girly stuff like the color pink, furry stuff, and stuffed animals like Lambie, Boys like stuff like toy trucks, like Nerf guns, like Spider-Man t-shirts. That being said, I didn't exactly follow those rules sometimes. And in that aspect, I'm talking about animals. We all love animals, especially when we were younger. We all loved animals, okay? So my favorite animal was a hummingbird when I was younger, or like giraffes. Now, those were girly stuff. Like, at least you could say that. Like, giraffes at the time were a good in-between of boys and females, But really, that was not my favorite animal. It wasn't my favorite animal. But what girls were like supposed to be into when you were so young were stuff like maybe elephants, maybe small animals like hamsters, or small little puppies, or bunnies, stuff like that. Boys were supposed to be into like maybe like those bigger, maybe rougher animals like a rhinoceros or saber-toothed tigers or like lions. Those were supposed to be more for like the boys section. At least, again, where I was raised. But my favorite animal, my actual favorite animal, was not into that section. Like, it wasn't in the section where I was supposed to be, where were the girls, My favorite animal is actually a gorilla. It's still my favorite animal to this day. Why? Because they are loyal to their family. They're big. They be like, dum, dum, dum. You feel me? They be yelling, like they be loud. Yes, that is where I stand in the animal kingdom. Like, dum, dum, dum. Yeah, you already know. That was actually always my favorite animal, even when I was younger. Back then, where technically that's in the boys section, right? So I never really like told people that. I never really told my girly friends that was actually my favorite animal. Why? Because I didn't want to be judged. I didn't. What is? Oh, it's the shape. But which is gone. I'm putting this back on. My favorite animal was a gorilla growing up, and really, that wasn't supposed to be my favorite animal growing up. It wasn't supposed to be, because it's not girly like a small little hummingbird, or like pretty like a flamingo or a peacock, that wasn't what I was supposed to like. So I kept it a secret for very long, but I did at one point end up kind of telling them that that wasn't actually my favorite animal. I was telling people that my favorite animal was like hummingbirds or a giraffe, you know, because those were cute, but that wasn't my favorite. So I ended up telling them, how did it even go? They were just like, okay, so I had this best friend back in grade, let's just say preschool for now. No, it was like 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, right? I don't know. But I had this best friend, her name was Leah, and I told her that my favorite, we would go back and forth because we were like, we have so much in common. So her favorite animal, I think, what was it? No, her favorite animal was a dolphin. And we would say our favorite things at the same time, you know? And just because we had so much in common. So we would do this every time at lunch. And I'd be like, okay, at the same time, shout your favorite animal. And then we were supposed to say the same thing every time. What's your favorite food? We'd shout it and it'd be the same thing every time because we just had so much in common. So this was my moment, and it was lunch. It was about the same time when we would do our daily routine of saying how much we have in common. So it was about time to do this, right? And I decided today was the day I come out of the closet about my favorite animal. So I said my line. Okay, at the same moment, shout your favorite animal. That was my line. I'm sorry. That was my line, and this was my moment to say gorilla, right? So she was going to say dolphin. I was about to say gorilla. I already knew it in my head. So it was time. And I was like, 3, 2, 1, gorilla. She didn't look at me the same. We didn't really, it was weird. Like, this part's kind of irrelevant, but I'll tell you anyway, just in case you're thinking it. The rest of the day in that story, we didn't really talk for the rest of the day. Because we didn't have that one thing in common. I mean, like, we forgot about it the next day, though. So, like, I think it's fine. So, really, I hope that, like, our generation now is, like, different when it comes to that. Like, girls should be able to, like, quote-unquote boy stuff just as much as boys, like, you know, our stuff. Like, I'm sure there has to be a boy out there somewhere that likes a flamingo, right? Like, that thinks they're cool. I wonder what kids, like young kids now, are thinking of as like girl stuff and boy stuff. Not like, you know, our generation, but like young kids, like young kids that go to like maybe 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade. I wonder what they're into now. I know they're probably still into like corny stuff, maybe like Skechers. Do they like Skechers still? Or is there like a new version of Skechers in 2020? Anyway, to all the youngins that are like from 1st to, or you know, like young, like extremely young to maybe like 6th, 5th grade at the most, I'm gonna talk to you for a second. It is okay to like what society thinks as like maybe boyish or girlish. There should be no separation like what you like. I'm being so serious because I was scared to say that I liked gorillas. That is ridiculous. But to you guys, do not be afraid to like your own stuff, okay? I'm just saying, because if society controls you, everything controls you. So don't let that happen. Good. So I think I'm going to end it here, and I will talk to you guys next Friday. So bye, babies. In the thunder